Hello there. Here we are with issue 42. Let's go ahead and have a look, see what we got going on here. We're going to talk about the YT2000 light freighter. That might be interesting. And then we're going to get into planets and moons. So that might be kind of cool. Maybe we'll learn what the difference of a planet and a moon is, at least in the eyes of Star Wars. Next, we're going to get into Combat Techniques Part 3, Evasive Maneuvers. So we know that Han is very familiar with evasive maneuvers. So that's what we're going to do. Our next parts, let's go ahead and break those bad boys out. See what we're working with here. So we get ourselves a thread cutting tap. So that's interesting. I'm not exactly sure why. I'm sure that'll come in handy at some point. Got some more hull plating. And we have a recess. So let's just have a quick look to see. We'll set this over here. I just want to read what it's telling you about the thread cutting tap. Thread cutting tap has been provided to help readers who have tried inserting a screw into one of the threaded holes in the metal frames and found it is too tight to go in easily. If you have not experienced this problem, there will be no need to use the tap. Interesting. So it's the tap that the framework. So there have been some instances where the frame did give me some problems. So this might be handy to have around. Let's go ahead and break this mamma jamma apart. Get that put in there. There we go. We now have a tap. Awesome. All right, let's get the book up out of the way and take a look at what we got to do here. So in this issue, we're going to put the stuff in the recess. We're going to build ourselves a recess. That's what I thought. It's recess time, everybody. So like all things that I do when we're talking about these pieces, first thing I'm going to do is cut them off the sprue. Then I'm going to clean them up and wash them, and then we'll put them all on. So I think I'll go ahead and get these all cut off now, and I'll go ahead and record all of it that I'm doing. And if I deem that it's not necessary or whatever, if it's too long or whatever, I'll fast forward or I'll skip it altogether, just depending on how things go. All right, that's all the pieces that are cleaned up. Let's go wash them. We'll wash this at the same time, and then we can start the painting process. So this is interesting. This fits in from the outside. Ooh, fancy. Okay, be right back. Okay, welcome back, everybody. So we have these parts all washed and dried and all that kind of fun stuff. So it's time to start putting this in there. So again, I'm going to test fit this, make sure it fits in properly. And it does. So it doesn't fit quite as like, oh, maybe you really have to push it in there. Yeah, I think so. Okay. So I'm going to just put a little bit of glue here and a couple other spots, because once you push it in, I think that it's going to hold. All right. There we go. It's going to hold it there because of the friction. I don't want it to try to push back out. So, yeah. There we go. Now, the next piece is this piece here. And it goes like this, I believe. Yeah, the short end. So you can see that one side's longer than the other. The short end goes to the rear. So we have a hole here, and a hole there. And so I'm just going to dip the ends in like this. And we're just going to set that in there. There we go. There's that piece. Next is this piece. And it's going to go here and there. Okay, that's simple enough. So we'll just put some glue in here. A little bit of glue in there. There we go. Next is this piece. And you'll notice that one of the nipples is bigger than the other. Just like some women have one breast bigger than the other. Or so I've been told. Any women out there want to dispute that or confirm it? There we go. There's that. All right. Now, this piece here and this piece is going to go there and there. Okay. There we go. Now this piece is a little bit different. Oh, okay. So we just got to figure out which direction, or does it matter? I don't think it matters. So for this one, just going to grab a hold of it. something like this. There we go. Then this piece, I have a hole here, a hole there, a hole there, and it's got to be something. Oh, must be this part right here. No, down here. No, it is right here. Right there. Okay. Let me show you. We got a spot there, a spot there, a spot there, and a spot there. There we go. And then the last piece is this piece here. And we've got a spot right here. And then the other part goes here. So I think this will be another one of those that I'm just going to dip this in. There we go. Look at that. You can see all the piping. So it looks pretty cool. Pretty cool indeed. So on the camera, it looks like this right here. Oh yeah. I did not notice that when I was cleaning it. It's good now. There we go. All right, so now I will get this thing primed. I'll let it set up a little bit. We'll get it primed and painted. All right, catch you guys back in a little bit. Welcome back, everyone. So here we are. We've got the base painted as well as the highlights done. So now we can really add some details by adding, the sides feel really weird because of the different layers of paints and stuff. Feels like it's, I don't know, it's really weird. Regardless. So let's figure out what colors we're going to do first. So I think what we'll start with is some rust, because rust is always a good place to have some stuff going on. So we're going to do some rust. And yeah. So as you can see, I've got 4 palettes out here. That's what I'm calling these from now on, my palettes. I've used the term before. You guys might as well get used to it. All right, so that's it for the rust. Let's get this lid put on before we regret it. All right. I think that's good enough. Like I said, did not need a lot. And so again, we have plenty of silver out here to work with. Let's say that's enough. Okay. Where do we want grease? So we're going to put there we go. All right. That's our detailing for that one. What do you guys think? Pretty good? It's all right, I guess. I can't complain. So that should conclude. Get this paintbrush out of the road. Let's raise you back up to a more normal height. And I'll raise this up here again so you can see it all, and it's whatever. Splendor slash glory. All right, so I contemplated whether or not I was going to paint this or not, because what I was worried about was when the boarding ramp was down, if you could see it and how it would look. And so I talked to my daughter because I value her opinion in such things, and I decided to go ahead and kind of put it on here the way it would go. It would go something like this anyway. And when you have it on there, now granted this isn't all the way in where it needs to be, but it's pretty close. I could get it in there potentially. Maybe. There we go. So it's going to fit pretty tight up against the framework. So if you were looking at it from an angle, you're not going to see a lot of the black. And even if you do see the black, I'm not going to be terribly upset about that because I want it to kind of look like it's dark inside. So the black would give it that effect. So I'm pretty okay with that being black. I may actually have to paint this framework black in some way. I don't know how I'm going to do that. I'd have to do some tests on some framework and this metal. I think it's made out of magnesium or something. It's not metallic or magnetic. Those magnetic screwdrivers don't stick to it. Um, but I think it's magnesium or something. Don't quote me on that. But I'll have to see what kind of paint would stick to it. I may have to get some sort of uh, etch primer or something like that first, and what have you. Um, but it might be advisable to paint it black just to kind of hide the framework. Anyway, let's go ahead and get to masking this stuff. Oh, before I start fast forwarding, so on one of my last videos, I mentioned a guy named um, uh, movie models, and when he masked his, uh, he didn't mask it all that well. He just made sure that no overspray was going to get on the bottom. Now, maybe I could get away with that, but at the same time, I don't want to have to really. He was using silver. Maybe silver would cover a little bit better. Who knows? I don't know. Never tried it. He had done other movie or other ships with interior lights and stuff like that. Like he had done a Enterprise and stuff like that. So I feel like he's got a heck of a lot more experience with it. So he knew what he could cover and what he couldn't. I don't have that kind of experience, so I just don't want to risk it. So I'm not going to risk that by just doing the bare minimum of it. Another thing I'm probably going to do is I'm going to go ahead and mask this back part off. And so I may have to use that tape for it. So let's go ahead and get going. All right, let's see how this turns out. Okay, we're back, and let's go ahead and unwrap some of these. See how we went. I wasn't near as diligent on how I masked them, so it'll be interesting to see how much of a difference that made. Of course, I did mask these end pieces here, so there should be some sort of a difference in that regard. And I didn't even get that much over the end, so that's good. We can see some bleed through there, which I think it'll be fine. None really on these edges. That's good. So, but there's a little bit of bleed through there. This one here I'm most interested in. We'll see how that goes. We'll open that one last. Be like the big surprise. All right. So far, nothing on the outside. Edges look good, except for a little bit right there. No big deal. And let's have a look. That came out really well. Yeah. Can't complain. I wish I would have done that on all those pieces. I believe I have them all. Maybe there's more to come. If there is, I'll make sure I get them correct. All right, here's this piece. And this piece actually gets covered up with other things. So it's not really going to matter. You notice there's no details on this piece. Like this piece gets covered up with this piece here. So you can look and see that these holes line up in some fit, form, or fashion. Maybe it's like this. Yeah, so the holes line up like this. So yeah, you're not even going to see this piece. So technically I didn't have to paint it. But you know what? Thoroughness. It's painted now. Can't take it back. No backsies. All right, let's see how this goes. I did take a little bit more care along the edges on this one. But I'm really curious about this middle section. And some of the black did bleed through, but I think all in all, I won't have a problem with that. So, as of right now, we only have 3 more pieces to go. These are all done. That looks quite strange, sticking out like that, but hey, that works. So, as of right now, these are the only pieces I have left. I feel like there should be more pieces. Maybe we'll be getting more coming up in the near future, so we'll find out. But we'll do these another time. All right. Take care, everybody. Let's have a look at this part. So we built it, right? So first we built it. I'd set my magazine down, but I got all this paint here, and I would like to avoid it. And then we painted it. And that's the last thing we had to do. So next time, looks like we're going to get more parts for the seat. Going to get a bunch of the screws to start fastening the exterior parts on. I mean, granted, we already have a crap ton anyway. We're going to get this part here, and this is the landing gear. And that's the cover for the landing gear. So that's what we're going to get next time. I wonder if we'll be putting another seat together. We'll find out. All right. I'll see you guys in the next one. And may the force be with you always.